a big-time in-state rivalry. It doesn't seem to mean that much at this point in the MACHA Silver Central.
Yeah, and it's good for Nebraska being above Creighton, but they're only up by them on 2 points, and Nebraska has played 14 more games than Creighton. So if Nebraska wants to stay above them, they're going to have to play a good set of games this weekend.
And you'll notice I said a little bit unknown in the open to this show because Creighton hasn't played that many games. They haven't won a game since October 28th against Kansas. Nebraska hasn't won since mid-November, so there is a lot of unknowns between these two teams, not a lot of great performances, but at this point late in the season, you got to think one team is going to step up.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nebraska at home, only 1 win, 4 losses, 3 overtime losses, and 2 ties. But then you look at Creighton on the road, they've only won 1 game on the road. So Nebraska at home, only 1 win. Creighton on the road, only 1 win. So it'll be interesting to see who breaks that 1-win drought for being at home and being on the road.
And as we approach February in this part of the season, there's not that much time for Nebraska to work with. Only 2 more series left this year as they play Missouri and Arkansas to finish out the year. But stick with us here on Countdown to Puck Drop as we'll take a look at some of Nebraska's goaltending struggles over the past few weeks after this.
All right, I'm Alex Koff, senior goalie, and this is me mic'd up. What's up, Clover? Got a question for you.
Yeah.
Is a hot dog a sandwich or a taco?
It's absolutely neither. It's a hot dog.
Fair enough. Ah! Ah! Yep, apple! Oh. Holy. Yep, we are good at hockey, fellas.
Well, good to see that Alex Koff seems to be in some pretty high spirits after getting pulled early in Game 1 of the series last weekend. But the Huskers have been searching for some reliability in net since the new year. Nebraska is averaging almost 6 goals allowed per game since the spring semester got underway in mid-January, including 8 goals in Game 1 of the series last weekend against Kansas and 5 goals the next day. Keegan, I know it's a tough schedule, but Nebraska needs to figure out a way to keep their opponents off the scoreboard better if they want to find any sort of success late in the season.
Yeah, absolutely, Jake. You're not going to win many games giving up 5-6 goals a game, which the Huskers have been doing. And it was pretty surprising going back to the Kansas game, Alex Koff getting pulled after 8 minutes. Liam Scott came into the game, and then after the first period, both goalies allowed 3 goals. And I remember McMaster and I were looking at each other. Who do you put in for the second period? Well, they opted to keep Liam Scott in. And it was surprising that Alex Kopp didn't get to start on Saturday. Instead, they went with goalie Jacob Broadfoot. So we only saw Alex Kopp for 8 minutes the whole weekend. You look at the statistics up here, 107 goals allowed this season, 4 goals allowed on average in their wins, and just over 4 goals allowed on average in their losses. And since the new year, they're allowing almost 6 goals per game. And Jake, you're not going to win many games allowing 6 goals.
No, and it's been seen in the schedule as well. Nebraska hasn't been in the winning category in quite a bit. It's been since November 12th against Michigan Flint since the last time the Huskers scratched a W across the board. But I know you like Alex Koff so far this year. He's got the best stats, but at this point late in the season, when you don't put him back in the next day after only playing 8 minutes, I got to wonder if Coach Fuller doesn't know if he has his number 1 guy at this point.
Well, I think it was a way of head coach Reed Fuller testing out his other guys. Alex Koff, he's been their number 1 goalie all season, appeared in 20 games this season, and even with the struggles that Nebraska has had at goaltending, Alex Koff has posted a .915 save percentage and a .317 goals against average. With only having 3 wins in your name is pretty darn impressive for Alex Koff.
Yeah, and they bring in Jacob Broadfoot in the last game of the series last weekend. I thought he did a decent job. We knew Kansas was a high-powered offense. Tyler Nelson goes back-to-back hat tricks in the 2 games in that series. And I don't know how much you can expect from your third-string goalie to come in and try to win you a game late in a series.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult when you're this late into the season and you don't really know who you're going to be throwing into net night in and night out. So it's a good way for Reed Fuller to put different guys and see who may be going forward into next season, guys that you can trust and maybe play, because Alex Kopp, they might not have him next season. So when you look at the other guys, Liam Scott, he's had a pretty good season. Graham Williams has played well, and Jacob Broadfoot, I thought, had a solid game against Kansas on Saturday.
Well, there's still a lot of questions to be answered this late in the season, but coming up here on Countdown to Puck Drop, we'll preview the weekend series against Creighton and see if the Huskers can pick up their first win in a couple of months.
Hey, that's my seat.
Well, Nebraska is just a few minutes away from taking the ice against the in-state rivals, the Creighton Blue Jays. Jake Schron's here with you, wrapping up Countdown to Puck Drop here with Keegan Oliveira. And Keegan, this is a very tough matchup that the Huskers are dealing with. They lost the 2-game series back in September to this Creighton Blue Jays team, 2-0. And what do you expect from this late season matchup?
Well, these two teams played earlier up in Omaha, like you mentioned, with Creighton winning both of those games. But you look at the in-state rivalry comparison, Creighton with 6 wins, Nebraska with 5, which is pretty surprising considering how many more games Nebraska has played. But the one thing that really jumps out at me on this chart is the goal differential. Creighton sitting with a +8 and Nebraska with a -38. Creighton's been putting in some goals, and Nebraska just can't keep the puck out of their net.
Yeah, and with so many more games played, you expect the stats to be a little bit different, but that is such a strong disparity in that goal differential. And Nebraska went into last week's series at -31. They come into this weekend -38. Just shows how bad last weekend went for them against Kansas.
Yeah, and it shows how good Creighton's offense has been. They are at a 60 goals for, and Nebraska at 69 goals for. Creighton's only 9 goals behind Nebraska in a number of less games played. So Nebraska's offense, they slowly started been clicking. They're not putting up the numbers that really show. They scored 3 goals in back-to-back games for the first time since their tournament back in November. Creighton, they've been struggling on the defensive end. They've been allowing 5, 6, even a game with 10 goals allowed. So Nebraska needs to take advantage of Creighton's struggles at defense as well.
Yeah, and something important that Nebraska needs to get going a little bit. You mentioned earlier on in the show that the offense started to pick up a little bit late in the series against Kansas. They really need Evan Datina to show up. The top goal scorer on this Husker team needs to put together a big-time performance against the Creighton Blue Jays. You see the matchup in this series that we're watching. Zach Kubicek and Evan Datina, a lot more minutes on the ice for Datina, but you look at the stats, Kubicek has been very efficient when he's been on the ice.
Yeah, absolutely. Kubicek, only 13 games played as Creighton has played in so many less games, having more points than Evan Datina, more goals as well in 13 games less played, 1.77 points per game. Nebraska only has one guy averaging a point per game, and that is Timmy Leroy. But Zach Kubicek, he's been great, but he's been held pointless in back-to-back games. And the last time Kubicek has been held pointless in back-to-back games was last February in their series against no other than the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So the veterans on this team, they know what to expect out of Kubicek. They got to help out the younger guys to help slow him down.
And Kubicek comes into the series top 10 in points, goals, and he's top 5 in points per game. And it's going to be an interesting series. Nebraska and Creighton, it's always such a competitive matchup. But let's take you to the ice now for the Huskers and the Blue Jays. Welcome in, everybody. Jake Schrantz alongside Justice Rhodey. And Justice, this is a great matchup coming up tonight on the Husker Hockey YouTube channel. Nebraska and Creighton, in-state rivalry, always so fun to watch.
Always so fun to watch, and you know this one's going to be contentious right from the get-go. We got a doubleheader starting tonight and then ending tomorrow, and this is going to be some really fun hockey to watch. Two very explosive offenses ready to take place tonight.
Creighton won the first two matchups in the season series back in September. Nebraska and Creighton struggled this season. Both teams won't be in the playoffs. Two teams that have struggled defensively, especially in net, with Alex Koff, Ryan Lee, and Charles Calderon on the other side for Creighton. What do you think that could play into tonight's matchup?
I think it's going to play into really who can be more effective in the offensive zone, whether it's Creighton with Charles Altier, who we know is a real talent, or whether you want to go even further down the depth chart and talk about Zach Kubicek, who's going to be a very effective scorer, one on the top in the MACHA. These are two really effective players, but Creighton can go 2 to 3 lines deep and still be very effective in the offensive zone. It's really going to come down to, can Nebraska counter that? Can they get effective in the offensive zone? Can they create chances on the power play? Can they be physical? Can they enforce their will on the boards and wear out a smaller but quicker Creighton team?
Nebraska struggled last weekend against the Kansas Jayhawks. Tyler Nelson went for back-to-back hat tricks against this Husker team. They've got Alex Koff expected to be in tender for this Huskers team when we come back on the Husker Hockey YouTube channel. Starting lineups being announced in just a moment here, and a newcomer for the Huskers in tonight's matchup, number 36, Dalton Weigel, came from Air Force, and he's going to be playing that defenseman position. Could be a difference maker in tonight's matchup.
Absolutely. He spent 3 years at Air Force, and whether you like it or not, that is Division I hockey. And Division I hockey is much more faster, much more physical, and ultimately much more skilled. And for him to take a step down into the MACHA, while still a lot of talent in the league, not as much as you would see in D1. So he could be a potential instant impact player for these Huskers, much in need of some defensive support.
We'll see if the Husker defense is up to the challenge tonight, right here on the Husker Hockey YouTube channel. Starting lineups take the ice here in the John Breslow Ice Center. Huskers in their white jerseys in support of the Cancer Night event going on here in Lincoln. You see the pink accents on these new jerseys as we are ready and set for the first face-off of the game as Altier is able to win it. And here come the Blue Jays in Husker territory before McCray is able to get it out. Huskers with Alex Koff in net tonight. Only saw him for around 8 minutes or so in the first period of last weekend's series in Game 1 before he was pulled and sat for the rest of the series against the Kansas Jayhawks. Long slap shot on net by Dale Mee. Can't get that one. Along the near side boards, now into the center for Altier. Can't finish it. Good poke inside by the Huskers to try to get this puck out of the zone. Quevedo chasing it down, and we have an icing call on the Huskers, so it will head back into Nebraska's side.
And a good early feeling out process. You can see that Creighton's trying to employ some counter pressure here, trying to keep the puck in there on Nebraska's defensive zone, trying to put pressure on this very inexperienced Nebraska defense that has shown some cracks in the dam so far this season.
You see Altier with the gold helmet. Very easy to pick him out. Here's Biankowski behind the net, trying to find an option with Quevedo. Altier is able to pick it up. Still in the Husker territory. Altier puts a shot on the net, goes flying over the top of Alex Koff. Still in the first period, scoreless. Almost 1 minute down. Now into the corner. Huskers trying to get it out of there. It's Kubicek, the top goal scorer for the Jays, fighting for the puck. Now it's Maralda on the near side as Leslie works behind the net. Leslie handles through defenders. Now it's Maralda in the neutral zone. He doesn't have numbers, so he'll just give it up as the Huskers and Jays make a change.
Yeah, good line shift right there, and you can see that Creighton trying to employ that zonal press, trying to, again, limit the opportunities and poking sticks, trying to get any sort of deflection or interception, keeping the puck in the offensive zone.
Contact on the far side with Schugel and Topol. That's an interesting matchup tonight. Schugel, one of the better assist men on this team, has also only played in 12 games. As you see, the Huskers move it into the offensive zone. 3-on-3 chance here behind the net. And up into the center, shot on net, just blocked by Ryan Lee, the goaltender for the Jays tonight. Decent defense so far for Creighton. Jakubsma trying to get the puck as it goes flying toward the Husker side. Koff will handle behind the net and give it up. As Atong Hanu works with the puck, hands it over to the near side with Evan Datina, the top goal scorer for the Huskers. Works inside, puts a shot on net. Another good save off the leg pad for Ryan Lee. Near side, Topol backs it out. Huskers with some good opportunities so far with the shots on net, but Ryan Lee with only a 69 save percentage on the year has been game in net. But here's Creighton on offense in the Husker zone. Working without good numbers as they try to find something. Behind the net, it's Tukanu. Excuse me, that's Treader in the corner. Still fighting for it on the far side near the Husker sideline. As the newcomer, Dalton Weigel, in there in defense, trying to get this puck out of there. Here comes Bobby Heiberg. The freshman gives it up. Huskers working with a 3-on-3, puts a shot up high over the top of the crossbar. Here's Pate, puts one on net again. Contact in front of the net. Puck still alive for Nebraska. As Pate tries to slow it down and keep it on offense, as Rogers has to back it out and give it up to Ben McGinnis. Creighton trying to make a bit of a shift. Huskers chasing it down on the far side behind the net. Heiberg works it up top to Pate. Pate puts one on net, and it's frozen inside by Ryan Lee. Just his 5th appearance of the year, but he has faced some pressure early on.
Yeah, he's faced a lot of pressure, and a really good job right there by these Huskers of catching Creighton in the middle of the line change. You know, Creighton tried to get away with one quickly, but the leak man in the back for the Huskers able to push it up, and then you can see right there the Huskers going on the counter pressure, catching Creighton in the middle line shift, but Lee with some great work in net.
Huskers win the faceoff. Here's Bierenstraw, who's checked in. Bierenstraw throws one on the net. Lee covers up once again with 16-18 left here in the first period. Still scoreless between Nebraska and Creighton.
Yeah, really good job right there by Bierenstraw. He sees it right out of the faceoff, takes a clean peek at net. Lee able to be on his toes right there, able to keep that one out of the net.
Along to the far side, here comes Faig. Near the blue line, Huskers still trying to keep it in the Creighton zone. They do. Here comes Christian Clover. Opportunity, puts one on net. And once again, Ryan Lee's there.
Yeah, really good job right there by Lee, able to stay on guard because Clover caught basically the entire Creighton defense off guard with some real sound man-to-man pressure right there. Able to get up in the face, uses a little poke check right there to free the puck and puts one on. But Ryan Lee has been up to par so far tonight.
Top lines for both teams check back in. You see Altier and Kubicek in there for Creighton. They'll see if they can find some offense. They've been in the defensive zone for quite a bit. Here comes Altier the other way, gets decked and around center ice by Quevedo. What a hit that was as the Huskers able to maintain possession. Maralda keeps it in the zone. Quevedo working against Dale Mee. Nebraska very aggressive offensively. The offense woke up just a bit as the puck is free along the blue line. McCray sends it over to the far side. Maralda trying to find it as he has to chase it down in the corner against Christian Pino. As here comes Creighton, Kubicek over to Altier, the top two offensive options as he goes right between the legs of Quevedo. It's Kubicek with a nice stick handling. Now on the near side, here's Pino, backs it out for Creighton. Pino continues to work in the defensive zone, gives it up to Kubicek. He's got some space now along the left side into the Husker zone over to the right of the net. No good on that one. Still scoreless. 15 minutes left in the first period. Nebraska on defense now haven't been in this zone for quite a bit as Altier tries to keep it in. Here's Pino around center ice. Dishes to Altier. A bit of a mishandle as the Huskers take it away. Here's Biankowski. Gives it up. Here's some space now for Evan Datina. We'll see if he can get something going on a 2-on-3. Over to the center of the net. Inside, and he can't finish it as Creighton avoids disaster as here comes Sam Hingsberger. Gives it up to Jack Schwab. Schwab with some space into the center and sends it wide. Puck still alive in the Nebraska zone. Creighton trying to keep this possession alive. Dale Mee fires one. It's tipped by Schugel. Can't get that one through though. Schugel behind the net, runs into Jakubsma, able to avoid him. Over to the near side, brings it out himself, he's got time. Jay's working it closer, and a nice save by Alex Koff in net there. Creighton looks a little tired, Huskers have to take advantage here. Across center ice, now into the Creighton zone. 3-on-4, still able to manage it. Here's Topol, gets slammed into the boards, good hit for Creighton there as they bring it behind the net. Some velocity for the Jays as they try to make a switch.
Yeah, able to do so successfully, and you can see the physicality starting to ramp up. You saw Altier get decked, and then Creighton responds in kind on the boards. Good early physical action.
Heiberg puts one on net. Good save by Lee. Huskers behind the net still on offense as it's contested and taken away by Creighton. Here come the Blue Jays into the neutral zone and sent across behind Koff. Huskers chasing it down on the near side. Back up top, slap shot, hits his own teammate as Sam Cook got hit in the legs on that one by Jay McCown.
Look at this pressure again, Jake. You can see Nebraska hounding for every loose puck that they can. Creighton basically scrambling back on defenses. We have a breakaway here.
Rogers does a good job to get it to Heiberg, puts it on the net. Good save by Ryan Lee. Creighton escapes once again. Ryan Lee has been excellent in net so far. Here comes Reiser into the far Husker zone. Cook getting contested over to the far side as well. Now fight for it on the far side boards. Here comes Pate behind Koff with some traffic, and he sends it up the ice as Creighton will chase it down as it hits the back wall.
Yeah, no icing there, but you can immediately see a fresh line coming in, and Creighton, they've done a good job, but now they're being hounded. Look at the pressure by these Huskers.
Dardanus on the far side getting hounded as the Huskers putting some great defensive pressure on. As we have a puck out of play and a whistle and a stoppage. Still 12:03 to go in this first period. Still scoreless, but a lot of chances so far for Big Red.
And you got to give credit in net to Ryan Lee, who has been up to par so far all night. He's faced double-digit shots already, and he has responded in kind. But you can see that the pressure from Nebraska, whether it's the first, second, or third line, has been getting to this Creighton defense. They've given away costly opportunities.
Huskers win the face-off. Leslie puts one on net. And it's blocked in out of play, and as the Huskers try to chase it down and keep it in the zone. Sent to the far side, Bienkowski able to chase over and try to pick it up. Contested puck in the Creighton zone as Davis is fighting for it alongside Sturl. Here's Bierenstraw, slides one through, can't find the net. Creighton desperately trying to get this one out of there as there's a broken stick on the ice. Leslie able to take it himself, slap shot, far and wide. And a whistle for finally a stoppage. Looks like that broken stick will finally be able to be switched out. Even with a broken stick, Huskers offense still playing great.
And you can really see that the pressure is getting there and the physicality. It looks like the puck's been flying around with just a little bit extra juice. You got to wonder if some of the emotions and the anticipation of such a big rivalry matchup is going to help motivate both of these sides. And you can see a snap stick doesn't happen very often. And so with that stoppage of play, Huskers going to have a chance still in the offensive zone. They have dominated in the offensive zone so far, getting whatever they want on net. Just can't convert so far.
And the Huskers now on the power play. They actually called a penalty there, so 5-on-4 hockey for the Huskers here. Chance to get their first score of the day. Bienkowski's waiting for the one-timer by Datina. They've got some offense out there for Nebraska. Datina fires over to Bienkowski. Rifles one to the net. Gets stopped. McCray trying to put it through. Contested puck. Slides behind the net. Good defense so far by the Jays. Short-handed. Weber behind the net trying to find somebody. Bienkowski has to chase it down. Good defense so far on this Husker power play for Creighton.
Yeah, they've done a really good job of just staying compact and not giving Nebraska any clear shooting windows, and that's really been to their benefit.
Weber tried to center it for McCray, couldn't handle the pass. Here's Datina behind the net. Lee looking for it. Datina tries to slide one through, and the Huskers still maintain offense. Datina over to the middle, between the legs, gets tipped and poked away. Altier trying to take it away. Here's Bienkowski able to save it. No, and they call as he handled it up top with his glove. And that stops action.
Yeah, and just a costly error right there. They caught him handling with a little too much. And right there, a costly opportunity because Nebraska was putting such great pressure. You can see they just looked like they wanted a little bit more. Every loose puck, every little chance, and every time that there's a 50-50 puck, Nebraska is the first to it. They are getting sticks to it. They are getting poke checked. They're doing whatever they can to keep this nonstop pressure on this Creighton defense, and it has been to their benefit so far, Jake.
The newcomer, Dalton Weigel, back in there for the Huskers on defense. You see him with the puck handling in the Huskers zone. Still 50 seconds and counting on this Husker power play. We'll see if Nebraska can take advantage almost halfway through this first period. Here they come. Here's McGinnis on the near side boards, gets contacted into the corner, lost his footing, and Kubicek's able to take the puck away for a moment. Huskers still working with it though. It's Bontius, Nick Bontius, able to bring it to the far side. Now here comes Bishop Schugel into the Husker zone. 1-on-3, he goes to the left. Alex Koff is waiting. Husker defense waiting as well. Got stripped. Here come the Huskers with some numbers. Matt Leslie across center ice, now into the Creighton zone. Trying to find an option. Here is Weigel, puts a shot wide. Almost got his first goal of his career right there.
Oh, and really great offense, Jake, as Weigel was able to get the poke check when Schugel was going 1-on-3, and then right there gets a clear as day opportunity and just can't quite find the top of the net.
Final few seconds tick away as the power play is done for Nebraska. Back to 5-on-5.
Yeah, back to full strength, and that's huge for Creighton to ice that power play and kill the first one that Nebraska has of the evening.
Rogers doesn't connect on that slap shot one-timer, still behind the net. Nebraska with some amazing offensive pressure so far in this first period. Puts one wide to the right side. Nebraska cannot convert quite yet. Here come the Jays, 2-on-3. Shot by Schugel is stopped by Koff. Nice job to flash the leather there. The veteran goaltender for Nebraska has had an easy day so far, but we'll see if Creighton can take advantage of this opportunity. Nice shot inside. Good save by Alex Koff.
Yeah, beautiful stop right there as Vo decided to take exception, just saw the clear lane and decided to let one rip with the slap shot. But beautiful job by Koff using the body to shield the goal and then get tight and compact and able to squeeze the puck down. And now Nebraska's going to have a chance to set up the defense in the defensive zone. Creighton with a good opportunity here. They haven't had many inside their offensive zone.
Hingsberger wins the faceoff. Huskers behind the net lose their footing as the puck is still alive behind the line. Creighton fighting for it. They've got some options in the back, but Pate wins that battle, as here comes Clover, able to bring it over to the center. Bierenstraw couldn't handle the pass. We'll see if Caden Davis can do anything with it. Tried to get it to Clover. That one is taken away by Creighton. Still in the Husker zone. Nebraska trying to get back to that offensive pressure they had just a few minutes ago. Here's an opportunity. Big hit along the far side, as here's Clover trying to take advantage of this 2-on-2.
You can see Bierenstraw just taking exception, just laying the wood right there. Sees Bo and just sees his name in lights and just puts the kid on the deck. Big time physicality from the Huskers captain.
Shot tipped in there. Good job in the near the crease for Creighton. Almost got a ricochet goal, as here's Nebraska trying to take advantage. Lost the footing, but it's Evan Datino 1-on-3. Can he do anything with it? Near the net, and it's still behind the net. Datino working through 3-4 defenders for Creighton. Here's Jakubsma with some space, puts one on, and Ryan Lee is able to secure it and stops the clock with 7:21 left here in the first period. Still scoreless after all these opportunities for Big Red.
Still scoreless, and there's not enough credit that can go around to Ryan Lee. He's been putting himself in great positions to see the line. You saw Jakubsma had a clear lane to get the slap shot up into the top right of the net and just couldn't really find the line because Lee's able to slide over in time to make his body a wall in front of the net. A beautiful display of goaltending so far by Ryan Lee.
Huskers win the face-off. Here's Jakubsma, gives it up on the left side. Still full strength hockey here. Nebraska working. That's Weigel. Put one on net, almost got his first goal of the season. Kubicek takes it away. He's got Altier to work with, as well as another teammate. Altier puts one on. Koff is able to secure it. It was Altier, Middleton, and Kubicek, some of the top offensive options for Creighton on that breakaway. But Alex Koff has been game so far tonight.
He really has, Jake. And you can see Altier went one-on-one, trying to go with the backhand to sneak it inside the top right of the net. And Koff denied that one, the 6'5" frame swallowing that one whole.
Altier's in there for the face-off. Huskers trying to get it out of the zone. Altier poking at it. And up top, Pino trying to keep the puck alive in the neutral zone, sends it in. Nebraska working behind the net. Pino trying to pick that one off. Good option here. It's Quevedo working one-on-one. Fakes the shot. Still puck is alive. Gives it up. Shot on net. Good save by Ryan Lee. Is it a score? It is! Huskers take the lead here in period one. Dylan McCray, his second goal of the season. And Nebraska takes the lead here in the John Breslow Ice Center.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful saucer pass from the back. You could see there wasn't a whole lot of numbers. Quevedo just makes the slice run across, and you could see able to work, and a beautiful saucer pass to get it over the top. And a great job by McCray to follow. He sees the empty net because Lee got way too far over on the Quevedo back tap. And just a beautiful job by McCray of being Johnny on the spot. Puts Nebraska in the 1-0 advantage.
Took quite a few opportunities, but Nebraska eventually able to come away with one on the scoreboard. Here they come again. Evan Datino, 3-on-3. Pass over to Weber, did not work. Now he's in the corner, fighting for the puck. Still in the Creighton zone. We'll see if the Jays can get it out. Bonthius trying to keep it in. He's able to poke it away for a second, as here comes Creighton the other way. Schugel working with it in his zone. Getting met by the large Nate Weber. 6'3" size, as Weber takes it away near side to the goal, and it's saved as a collision behind the net. After the whistle, good to see both men get back to their feet.
And that was almost really costly, Jake, because Hinsberger just kind of lost the puck, got way too far ahead of himself. Weber, the ever-present, just runs right in and sees the loose puck and tries to go one-on-one, but again, Lee able to slide in front and bail out Creighton yet again.
Heiberg's in there for the face-off for Nebraska. Freshman wins it. Huskers keep it in this Creighton zone. We'll see if there's anything for Caden Dardanis to do with it behind the net. Here's Reiser trying to get it out of there. Big hit in the corner as Heiberg is able to keep it alive. Bonthius sends it behind the line. Bonthius still working on the near side, puts one to the right of the goal. Chasing it down is Weigel in his first game of the Husker career. The Air Force transfer, fighting for it on the far side with two Creighton defenders as the Huskers end up coming away with it. McGinnis behind the net. trying to find some space as Creighton flying all over the place behind the net. Gives it up to Weigel behind, still working, dealing up top. Good opportunity, couldn't finish there from Heiberg. Bontius puts one on the net too far to the left. Rogers gives it up, Creighton coming the other way. Pass goes too far past Colin Brown as now the Huskers once again. Here is Heiberg. Heiberg working, centers it for Weber, can't finish.
And a filthy drag right there by Heiberg. Just loses everybody on the rink right there, but just couldn't finish right there. But you can see Nebraska's swarming pressure, just giving them opportunity after opportunity, Jake.
Huskers, good opportunity there for Weigel as it's still in the Creighton zone. Ryan Lee has got to be sweating bullets all period long. Here's an opportunity, Nebraska, Bobby Heiberg, puck still alive, and was it a goal? It looks like it was. A lot of contact in the crease, but Nebraska takes a 2-0 lead.
Oh my goodness, great hockey right there. Christian Clover again, Johnny on the spot. You could see multiple Husker bodies in and around the net, as you could see. Remember, Weigel tried to go for the wraparound, and Lee able to get the limb there, but then a collision on the side. A couple Creighton defenders get dragged away, and look at Christian Clover, the ever-present like the fox in the box, just able to tap that one home. Huskers have a 2-0 lead, a dream start at home for these Nebraska Cornhuskers. A nightmare so far for Creighton.
They did not lead a single time last weekend in the Kansas series, but so far tonight they have scratched 2 across the scoreboard in just under 16 minutes of play. Strong offensive start, one of the more aggressive offensive starts that we've seen from this Nebraska team so far this season, as our officials talk with head coach for Creighton, Chris Clement, about that last goal.
Somebody's going to head to the box here, Jake. They're going to send Jay McCown to the penalty box.
So the Huskers with the second power play of the period after scoring their second goal. We'll see what they can do with it. 2-minute minor on McCown. So for Christian Clover, that was his second goal of the season. We already saw McCray get one earlier. Here comes Datina with a head of steam. Whiffs on the shot. And the Huskers still have possession. McCray working with Heiberg. McCray brings it up top. Bienkowski lets the puck get by him. He'll have to chase it down. About 1:30 left on this Husker power play.
And with a 2-goal advantage, they can milk this and try to make this 3. They've got some skilled skaters on the ice. It's can they take advantage against an undersized Creighton defense.
Huskers working in the Creighton zone. Altier trying to poke it away. Here's Bienkowski, manages offensively for the Huskers. Up top, gives it to McCray. Rifles one up, a wrist shot over the top of the net. Bienkowski has to chase it down once again.
And a good job so far by Creighton. They're trying to ice this one out. You could see they're going to try to put some counter pressure on, keep the puck as far away from the net as they can.
Nebraska still in the zone. Here's Datina, yet to get a score tonight. The top goal scorer for the Huskers. We'll see if he can get one here on the power play. About 45 seconds left in 5-on-4 hockey for the Huskers. Bienkowski up top. Centers inside. Puck near the net. Good opportunity for McGinnis. Couldn't finish it though. Check that. That's Weber on the near side. Puck gets tipped. Weber trying to keep it in as Bienkowski can't, as Altier will send it flying and get some precious seconds off the clock of this penalty, of this power play, I should say, for the Huskers. Here's Julian Maralda handling for Nebraska. Good opportunity for Leslie. 1-on-2, now 1-on-3. Fires one, scores! What a shot by Matt Leslie as the clock was ticking on the power play, and the Huskers take a 3-0 lead.
And I tell you what, Jake, he couldn't have put that one any better if he'd have strung it out on the line. Leslie goes 1-on-2, big time high rip move, able to find a little bit of a crease of space and just rips one as hard as he can into the top right of the net. Lee had zero shot of getting there in time, and a beautiful job of executing on the power play, even at a numbers disadvantage, by Matt Leslie and the Huskers, who now lead 3-0.
One of the best offensive starts for Nebraska in a long time. As here with the 3-0 lead, the final few seconds tick off the clock on this power play. As Weigel handles up top against Kubicek. in through traffic. Now here comes Creighton the other way. Schwab taking it into the center ice and into the Nebraska zone. Davis able to take it away. Less than 2 minutes on the clock here in period one. A good start for the Huskers as Christian Clover handles into the Creighton zone, fires one, got tipped away by Sam Cook. Cook behind the net, dishes to a teammate. Huskers trying to poke it away. It looks like they might, as now here's a little bit of a breakaway. One-on-one as Clover chases down on Chris Vo.
Jake, Creighton's got to try to find some answer offensively. Right now it's been 80-20 in the Nebraska getting into Creighton's off defensive zone as another breakaway here. No offsides.
Topol trying to find one backhand. Puck still around the net. I don't know how he was that wide open. But the Huskers had another opportunity at Ryan Lee, but good defense.
Great defense as Creighton got caught out of rotation right there as Topol just found a seam in behind the Blue Jay defense. And I mean, he had all day. He could have probably baked a batch of cookies if he wanted to, Jake. Look at how much time he had.
Here comes the Blue Jays. Hard shot. Koff's able to flash the leather once again. Less than a minute to go here in period one. Topol trying to chase the puck down. We'll see if Creighton can just keep this one out of their zone for the last minute. Datina almost poked it away for a good opportunity at it as Topol lost the puck. Here comes Sam Cook. Now into the center. As Dale Mee gives up to Altier. That one was tipped and poked away by Pate. Good defense by Gregory Pate. Behind the net, less than 30 to go now in period one. Topol on the near side. Works it across center ice. Creighton takes it away and they manage in their own zone. Here's Kubicek. Almost lost it, now he did. Here's McCray, final few seconds of the first period. Can the Huskers take advantage one more time before the buzzer sounds? Creighton just playing defense, final few seconds. Huskers looking for that one opportunity. Here comes Creighton, one shot. Final seconds, and it is finally the end of the period and a 3-0 start for the Huskers.
Oh, man, and I tell you what, Jake, have we been witnessing some great offensive hockey so far. You can see it in Nebraska being so dangerous with the counter press, with the poke checks, every sort of loose puck they are getting to first, and it just, this overwhelming pressure finally caved in on Ryan Lee, who had a really good initial start, but then the walls kind of broke down on the fortress, and you can see that leaky Creighton defense giving up way too many opportunities for Lee to handle.
McCray got things started with the first goal of the day, and Nebraska really dominated from there on out. We saw a couple power plays. We saw Leslie rifle one as well. I don't know if Creighton's going to be able to respond if the defense doesn't change a lot.
It's going to have to be the defense. It's going to have to be a ramp up in physicality. Nebraska has won the battle on the board so far. They are dishing out some serious punishment right now. And for Creighton, you've got to find a way to match that sort of physical level, because so far you go down 2-0 on power plays. You're getting a couple of cheap penalties. What you got to do is you got to stay smart, hit them hard on the boards. You got to wear these big boys down. And I can tell you right now that Dalton Weigel has been a huge impact for these Huskers. I mean, he's doing everything defensively, offensively. He has strung this back line together and kept them intact, and that's been a big reason why the counter presses work so well and why they've been able to contain Creighton's offensive attack.
Well, period two is coming up in a bit right here on the Husker Hockey YouTube channel. We'll see if Nebraska can maintain this momentum the rest of the way. Period 2 coming up in just a moment between the Huskers and the Blue Jays. 3-0 start for Nebraska in period 1. We saw McCray, Leslie, and Christian Clover get on the board in period 1. It was a very active start for Nebraska on offense.
It was a very active start, and they have tested Ryan Lee's mettle early. And, you know, after he gave up 7 goals in his last game, he's about on pace to give that up right now if he doesn't get things together. This Creighton defense has to give him some support and give him some sort of backbone to kind of take the pressure off, because it is about 80-20 Nebraska in that first period.
Altier got decked as Pate's able to take it away in the Nebraska zone. We'll see if Creighton can have some more success this period as Kubicek can't put it on net. Quevedo in the top line for Nebraska back out there. Alex Koff, he's had a quiet day so far, hasn't seen a lot of action, but what we've seen from him has been very strong. As here is an opportunity for Creighton. They can't put it through as Ham Cook fired it too wide. Kubicek still working with the puck, trying to get to the center. Ran out of room, as now here's Nebraska. We'll see if they can get it out of there with Maralda sending it up top to Quevedo.
A good early press breaker right there by Nebraska. Now they're going to get back into the line change, and Creighton's come out with a little bit of fire. They've got to respond in kind.
Creighton in transition. Here comes Pino behind the net, looking for an option. Back up top. Altier couldn't handle the pass as Nebraska's able to take possession, and a whistle and a penalty will go against Creighton, I believe.
Yeah, so a little line change right there, but again, you could see a much better start to this period by Creighton. They're able to get aggressive in transition, and you could see Pino did the wraparound. He was looking for some options. He was looking for somebody to slip in behind, trying to catch this Nebraska defense on guard, but Nebraska on their toes. Too compact, too aware, and so Creighton will now have a chance, still in the offensive zone, to try to break out of that 0 they have on the scoreboard.
Yeah, check that. It is Jake Quevedo heading into the penalty box, so Creighton's first power play of the day. We'll see if they can take advantage and get their first score on the board here. Here's Kubicek, kind of struggling against Bierenstraw as he sends it all the way across. Schwab dishes back. Creighton working calmly. Here's Dale Mee up top, looking for space. Good defense by the Huskers up top. Hard hit by Davis. Davis was all over that one. Altier trying to calm things down and get a good shot for Creighton. Here's an opportunity. Kubicek inside. Did it get through? No, it was a great save by Koff as he's on his rear end, able to save that one from flying through.
And what a denial right there from Koff, because it looked like Creighton was about on the doorstep, just knocking down, trying to get that goose egg off the board, and great job by Koff. Just goes full spread eagle, able to deny any sort of window that Creighton had. That's an amazing save by an experienced tender.
Face off in the Nebraska zone. Still 1:20 on this power play for Creighton. Mee handling up top, gives it to Schugel. Schugel on the near side boards. Here's Kubicek down low. Top goal scorer, averaging nearly 2 points per game. Has not been a factor so far. Dishes it over to Schugel. Schugel goes behind Koff. Over to Altier. He gets it poked away. Here comes Nebraska. Opportunity for the Huskers. Getting it poked away as they get it into the Creighton zone for a moment.
Yeah, and a beautiful job right there by Heiberg, just able to get the poke check and just sees a little bit of blood in the water and goes full steam ahead. But that's a really good job, because now Nebraska can reset as Creighton's on the break, but now they can take a breather, know they put some pressure on and try to ice more time off this power play.
Schwab calmly handles, now up top to Dale Mee. Over to Altier, the top assist man for Creighton. Got that one, it's a turnover. Huskers able to poke it away once again, 20 seconds and counting on this penalty kill for Nebraska. Creighton might get one more chance at it on the power play, as here comes Schugel across center ice into the Huskers zone, working the final few seconds of this power play. Back up top, one shot coming toward Koff as it goes far to the right.
And now the power play successfully killed. Huskers are going to go back to full strength, and here they are on the breakaway.
Weber and Datina fires one. It's a good save by Ryan Lee on a 2-on-1 break, as the Huskers can't come away with that opportunity.
Yeah, really good counter pressure right there because Weber and Datina able to get out as Creighton was caught in a little bit of a line change. Nebraska subbing into full strength to even things out at the conclusion of the power play. And a good job right there by Datina. Just tried to take one on Lee, but again, good tending right there by Lee. Trying to have a bounce back period.
Weber and Altier on that face-off. Huskers able to keep it in the zone. Rogers playing good defense all night long. But here comes Altier, gets railed into the boards. Evan Datina laying the lumber. But here's Kubicek still in the neutral zone. Creighton maintains possession. Kubicek lost it for a second. Huskers trying to take it away. Altier gets crushed once again as Datina sends him on his backside for the second time in a row.
And I tell you what, that sends in a message right there. That's an experienced player going after the best skater for this Blue Jays team and saying, you aren't getting anything tonight. And look at Datina laying the wood early for this Husker team, setting the tone.
4 minutes gone in period 2. Creighton trying to get anything to go their way. Altier sent to his backside for a third time in the last minute or so. He might need a break as he does head over to the side. Huskers getting it out of their zone, into the neutral zone. Bierenstraw taking on 2 defenders, glides into the zone of Creighton, fired one off the pad of Ryan Lee. Still has it behind the net. Oh, had a chance at it from behind as Bonthius will just keep it in. Creighton moving, sends one over to Schwab, couldn't handle the pass. Bonthius races to it to try to keep it for the Huskers. Nebraska handling behind Alex Koff as they move it toward the Creighton zone. Bierenstraw gives it up to Caden Davis, a speedy skater for the Huskers, goes right over the top of Dardanis behind the net. Run onto the net by the Huskers. Good save by Lee. Nebraska poking at it, trying to keep it in. Bienkowski with a long shot, almost found the back of the net as we have a whistle finally. And it will be a penalty, I believe, on Creighton as Alex Koff was heading to the side to give the Huskers the advantage.
Yeah, Koff is going to try to go full 6-on-4. They knew they had something cooking right there, but you could see Altier took a beating in that little stretch right there. First 2 big-time hits from Datina, went heat-seeking on the second one. Then Bierenstraw takes exception, puts him on his back. And so Altier, one of their best skaters, has been taken out. Nebraska immediately smelled blood in the water, went on the attack, and really good pressure by Weber and Datina. Bienkowski and Davis with a nifty move, and now they go back to full strength of the first line, but a really nice job applying the counter pressure, being as aggressive as possible, and now they have a chance with another power play to extend this lead even further.
Well, Altier returns to the ice. Good to see that he's still ready to go. Weber and Altier on the face-off. Huskers win it, keeping it in the zone on this power play. 2-minute minor against Creighton as here's the Huskers trying to work it in toward the crease. Good opportunity there, couldn't handle the pass. It's still around there as Bienkowski has to chase one down as Creighton able to clear it out. Datina, Heiberg, Weber, some good options out there offensively for Nebraska as here they come again into the Creighton zone. Datina by himself around the legs and right into the midsection of Ryan Lee. Good save in net for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, nifty display right there by Datina. Went through the wickets and tried to get something going there, but a really nice stop by Lee. He's been on his guard all night, and outside of 3 goals, is that a nice performance. But Nebraska, still 1:30 left in the power play. Got to find some way to get one in towards the crease.
Datina didn't score last weekend. He's still stuck at that 14-goal mark on the season. Here's Bienkowski. Finds some space with Heiberg. Couldn't handle the pass as it went to the boards. Weber behind the net. He's got Bienkowski if he wants him. Weber gives it up to Bienkowski. Finding an angle inside, off the crossbar, or off the post, I should say. Barely stayed out of the back of the net as the Huskers once again cannot convert on that opportunity. But here they come once again with Leslie. Gives it to Datina in traffic. Datina runs right into the defense of Dale Mee as Leslie handling up top. He's got an option one-timer. Huskers too wide. Datina handling with 30 seconds on the penalty kill. Back to Datina off the stick of Creighton. Kept in the zone. Weber fighting for it with Pino. Behind the net, Heiberg's there with him. Puck is still alive, and now here comes Bishop Schugel. 1-on-2, but he's going with a full head of steam. Goes right around the defender and ends up slowing it down to give his teammates some time to get across. Schugel still working with it. It's a one-man break, fires one, and Koff is game once again. Good save by Koff in net, but how about that from Bishop Schugel?
Yeah, and Bishop Schugel knew he did not have the numbers, went 1-on-3 and tried to make something spectacular happen. Veteran move, though, when he saw that nothing was going to develop, just pulls it out, waits for options, and then finds another little seam to attack and gets full head of steam. But Koff, again, his game in that 6'5 frame, just able to swallow it up, getting wide and taking away any sort of shooting angle for Schugel.
Huskers with a head of steam. Here comes Caden Davis on the near side. Finds Clover. He's already scored earlier today. We'll see if he could have gotten on there. As Weigel, his first minutes on the ice here in period 2. He was great in period 1. Had a couple opportunities to get his first goal of his Husker career. Jacobs him up behind. Gives it to Weigel. Some danger there with Reiser in the Husker zone, trying to take it away. But here's Weigel working on the near board. Sends it off the glass. As Dardanis behind the Creighton net, finding an option as Clover had a poke at it near in the crease. Puck is alive in the neutral zone, gets past Weigel as Koff handles behind his own net.
Yeah, and a quick line change here for Creighton, but you can see Bierenstraw's going headhunting tonight. He's looking for any opportunity on the board to lay some wood on any of these Creighton players.
Weigel goes around Fag as the Huskers struggling to get it out of their zone as finally the puck is put up into the sky as Heiberg chases it down 1-on-3 in front of the net. Heiberg can't finish it. Puck still alive behind the net. Dardanis gets hit hard. McGinnis put his body on the line. Another huge hit. Huskers with an opportunity, put a shot on net. Great save with the left glove for Ryan Lee. I don't know if we've seen the Huskers play more aggressive all season than this.
I mean, they are going after every sort of blue jersey they could find. First it was McGinnis, and then you could see Heiberg he literally just saw not even red. He saw blue, and he just went hunting and just lays a Creighton player out. And they have been so aggressive, and the physicality has been what set them apart in this matchup so far. That's why they're getting so many opportunities, because they're loosening the puck from these softer Creighton players.
Nearly halfway through period 2, still 3-0, no scores in this one. A big hit on the near side boards as Cook took a shot. Here's Kubicek trying to make an impact, can't finish that shot. Huskers gliding into the Creighton zone. Here's the big body Nate Weber near the net, works to the near side. Lost the puck for a moment as Altier is trying to take it away. We'll see if the Huskers can keep it in. Here's Sean Rogers. He's done a great job at it so far tonight. Weber gets contacted by Altier. Good defense so far here in period 2 for Creighton. Weber still working with it. Rifled one off the skate of a Creighton Blue Jay there as Kubicek lays out. I believe that was Maralda getting hit there. Altier into the Huskers zone against Rogers. Puck is in front of the net, too far to the left on that one. But a good opportunity for Creighton, one of the few they've had so far tonight. Big hit along the boards. This might be a penalty on Nebraska there.
Well, I don't know. Dale Meade tried to get a little too cute on the side and ends up flicking the puck out of play. But
that's right.
You could see that this Nebraska team has come to play with a new level of physicality. Any sort of blue jersey, a white helmet, black helmet, they don't care. They're going hunting tonight, and they could see that if they punish a smaller Creighton team, they're going to wear them out, and that's exactly what they've done. The game plan has worked to perfection, Jake.
Bienkowski sends it into the Blue Jay zone. Datina can't handle that pass outside. Here come the Blue Jays on the other end. It's Schugel, right side, got that pass taken away. Good defense by the Huskers. Looks like that was Matthew Leslie getting his stick on that one. Here comes Topol and Datina on a 2-on-3. Topol taking it himself so far, drops it off to Datina. Datina in traffic, puts one near the net, went to the wide. Weber up top, slowing it down. Here's Topol inside. Topol gets it poked away for a moment, still fighting for it, able to keep it alive.
Yeah, but again, this Creighton counter pressure, they're starting to match the level of physicality as right there. You could see Bishop Schugel was making game right there, trying to pressure as many Huskers as he could, and Creighton able to finally breathe a little bit in their defensive zone.
Schugel handling near his own net is able to find an option as Chris Vo takes it into the Husker zone. in traffic against Leslie, puts one on the net, looks like off the leg of Alex Koff for a save. Huskers facing a little bit more pressure in their own zone in period 2 as we are over halfway through this second period. Still 3-0. No shots through in period 2 so far.
And just look at this. Just everybody flying around. Look at all the bodies just trying to find any sort of crease. As you can see, Creighton players are just kind of hanging their heads. They're like, oh my goodness, not again. As you can see, the pace and speed and the physicality of the Huskers starting to wear them down.
Weigel taking it himself, the defenseman deep into the Creighton zone, has an option outside with Bontius, doesn't give it to him yet. Weigel still working with it on the left side of the net, sends it around as Schwab is able to poke it free. Weigel still handling the puck, now outside to Bontius, handles it off his skate, got tipped away. Schwab trying to clear it out as he sends this one flying and out of play.
And a good tip right there by Heiberg, just able to stop any sort of breakaway. But you can see, again, these Creighton players, I mean, it was especially Sam Hinsberger and Chris Vo just came up, and they were like, oh, my goodness, just hanging their head, kind of dogging their way back to the bench. As you can see, they need a moment of respite. This level of physicality, this level of aggression from the Nebraska Cornhuskers club has been very, very marked upon this game. They have imposed their will physically. They've imposed their will on the boards, and that is a big reason why they find themselves at this 3-0 advantage.
Slap shot got tipped and poked away by Lee, who has been on his game here in period 2. A couple opportunities for Nebraska have been halted by Ryan Lee in net tonight for the Blue Jays in this second period of action. But the Huskers continue to keep it in this Creighton zone. Quevedo trying to lay some contact out as Creighton takes it the other way. McCray pokes it free for a moment, but here's Kubicek in the Husker zone, backing it out, looking for space. Goes to the right, now over to the middle, Altier. Altier and Kubicek working the two-man game. Altier behind the net. Kubicek's got space, rifles one on net. Oh my goodness, Alex Koff was there.
Big time save by Alex Koff, because that one spelled disaster. A couple of flying limbs, a wide open shot, and if Koff hadn't flailed the limb, it would have been in the back of the net for the first Creighton goal of the night. But again, great bit of defense right there by Koff. And finally, he's showing a lot of that talent that we saw last year, flashing why he's a top tender for this Husker squad.
It's not often you see Kubicek come away up with an opportunity like that with nothing on the scoreboard. 17 goals in just 14 games played so far this season for Zach Kubicek.
And you were able to see Creighton finally got out on the break and was finally able to use a lot of their speed. They've been getting a lot better opportunities because the Huskers have started hunting for bodies instead of hunting for the puck.
Well, the Huskers are in the penalty kill as Nick Bontius is in the box after that most recent penalty. Almost had a chance at a short-handed goal right there. But here comes Kubicek. Can he take advantage this time off the stick maybe of Alex Koff? Some better opportunities offensively for Creighton here in period 2. Heiberg working against Kubicek, trying to get the puck out of there. Kubicek handles, puts one on the net from the right side. A good save by Koff once again as it goes past the midline.
And Creighton's going to have to reevaluate here again. A minute 20, they're in the neutral zone, but they're going to have to play a little bit more patient because they know that if they can get a burst, if they can get one quick flash towards the goal, that's really all they need with their speed and athleticism.
Meade bringing it around the net. He's got Schwab up top if he wants him. Gives it to Jack Schwab in the center. Shot goes high. Alex Koff gets his stick on it. Altier keeps it in the zone against the Husker defense. Over to Mee. Rifles one on the net. Can't finish it. As Mee able to get his skate on that puck and keep it in this Husker zone. Rainbows one over to Koff as the Huskers still cannot clear the puck. Still around 38 seconds and counting on this penalty kill for Big Red and their home arena.
And a big-time clearance right there by Sean Rogers, allowing them to get the line change up, because without that, Creighton would have had a continuous pressure, and that streak would have worn down this Husker defense. So a really nice job by Rogers, able to get the puck past the neutral zone.
20 seconds and counting on this penalty kill for Nebraska. Here's Schugel handling in his own zone. Maybe one more opportunity for Creighton in these final 12 seconds. Cook over to the center and a mishandled pass, but here comes Schugel with a chance on the right side, trying to center it for an option for Creighton as Pate is able to keep it away, and the Huskers do a successful job on this 2-minute penalty kill.
Yeah, they're going to get the icing call, but you're absolutely right, Jake. A big-time defensive stop. They're able to play compact, and when they need to in the transition game, they're getting out and spacing out and attacking some of these Creighton attackers. They're not allowing them to get free breakaways and use their speed and athleticism with their stick handling to get into a free area. They're challenging them. They're making them play a little bit tighter of a game, and that's why they were able to get a successful penalty kill.
Face off in the Husker zone after the icing call. Huskers with an opportunity now in the center. Here comes Beer and Straw. Over to Datina, chasing it down. Cannot make it there at first. Creighton defense trying to set up as there's a fight for it on the far side. Over to Weber near the net. Working back outside, Leslie over to Biankowski. Working a two-man game. Biankowski blows a tire, falls on his backside. Huskers had a chance at it, kind of mishandled that opportunity. Creighton tried to just get it out of the zone, but Nebraska says no. Here's Weber on the left. Weber tries to go between the legs. Rifled one by Leslie. He scored already today as Ryan Lee goes diving after the puck outside the crease. And the clock stops at around 4:33 left here in period 2.
And a really good job of goaltending by Ryan Lee, because you saw Nate Weber was hunting and hounding for any sort of loose puck right there. A nice little slap shot. And you could see that Weber was just trying to poke, just trying to find any sort of crease and avenue, and Lee went full spread and was able to deny any window and causing the stoppage in play. A really nice job by Lee, who has answered the bell in this second period.
Gave up 7 goals in his last appearance on January 27th against the Dort defenders. Gave up 3 in the first period, but since then, he has been on his game. 4:24 left here in this second period. Huskers will try to finish this period strong as they try to continue the momentum from the first period. Our official falls down, and we'll see if he's all right. Looks like he might have tripped on Caden Davis as he tries to get back to his feet. And it looks like he's going to try to skate this one off.
Yeah, and he might have to, and you know, that's how you troop it out, Jake. Sometimes when you take a tumble in life, you got to get back 2 times stronger, and that's what our official's going to try to do right here. But in the meantime, a neutral zone faceoff, this is a pivotal moment, because if Creighton's able to come away from this, win the faceoff, and get some sort of pressure on Alex Kopp, they've been a lot more successful using their speed and athleticism and getting any sort of breakaway opportunities on Alex Kopp. They put some tough shots on net, made him make some really spectacular above-average saves, and so if they can continue to do that, continue to change the momentum, we could see Creighton potentially get a goal here as, again, they win the faceoff.
Chase working with it in the neutral zone. Here comes Schugel. Got poked away for a moment. Was trying to work with Charles Reiser there as the Huskers try to take it into the Creighton zone. Hard hit from behind as Clover got sent down. About 4 minutes left in period 2. Creighton trying to work themselves back into this game. Jay's working to the Husker zone, rifle a shot on Koff as he's able to get his glove on it and cover up.
Koff had to make a little bit of an awkward adjustment. He was flowing right, puck came back to his left, and he just stabs that big 6'5" paw out there and is able to grasp it. A really nice save right there by Alex Koff. But again, you can see Creighton starting to ramp up the pressure more and more as this period is worn on, Jake.
It'll be a face-off in the Husker zone with less than 4 to go in period 2. Adamski checks in for the Huskers, trying to add some more defense out there for Big Red. Opportunity for Creighton. Puck is alive in front of the crease. Can't take advantage.
Yeah, that was a great poke save right there by Alex Koff. Just able to get that big stick out there and just shove it away from the net. Exactly what he needed to do. Just a quick reaction save, and it bailed out the Huskers.
Huskers with a chance now. Jacobsma lost sight of the puck as here comes Hingsberger. Tries to throw one at Koff as it's a good save by Alex Koff once again on the right side. Adamski taking it himself. 1-on-2. Into traffic with Vo as he sends the puck behind the line. Goes out of play. 3:04 left in period 2. Defense has definitely been the story so far in these first 17 minutes of the second period.
Yeah, you're right, Jake. And after it looked like in that first period we weren't going to see a whole lot of defense tonight, both of these teams have really stepped up to the bell and answered the challenge, and I got to give a lot of credit to both of these tenders in Ryan Lee and Alex Koff. They have made some spectacular saves and kept a clean sheet so far in the period for both sides.
We'll see if they can finish with the clean sheet in period 2, as there's just under 3 minutes left. Here's Creighton working the other way toward Alex Koff in the Husker zone. Schwab over to the center, shot by Vo, goes too high. Altier trying to keep it in. Maralda looking to get it out of there as he sends a pass over to Bierenstraw, got sent flying. Or excuse me, that's Davis. Nope, Quevedo.
And again, you can see the physicality ramping up. The Huskers, again, that time it was Quevedo, just took a shot right as the puck was being released. Perfectly legal hit. You can see the physicality has really been to their benefit as Creighton's got another opportunity here.
Fighting for it on the near side boards. A lot of contact tonight as here's Christian Pino trying to slow things down and get a good shot for the Blue Jays. Kubicek gets deked by McCray. McCray into the neutral zone, now into the Creighton zone. Works around to the backside of the net. Dale Mee running into Julian Maralda, trying to avoid a turnover, as it would be costly to give Maralda an opportunity there. Weber, the big-bodied forward, checks in for the Huskers. Altier had a chance at an opportunity. Puck gets past him. Puck along the near side now into the neutral zone for Heath Topol. Working against Altier. Kind of a small matchup there. Not two of the biggest guys on this roster. Kubicek's able to poke it away from, looks like that was Weigel. Couldn't handle that one. As another opportunity for Creighton right in front of the crease. Could not come away with anything. Just over a minute left in period 2. Huskers kind of on their backhand of this opportunity. As here comes, looks like Tatina working for Nebraska up in front. Tried to center a shot for Heath Topol. A good look at the net for Topol there.
Really good look for Heath Topol there as we're going to get the icing call. But again, Creighton with the offensive pressure had Nebraska on their back heels, and Alex Koff again with a couple of huge saves. And the defense has really been stepping up tonight, whether it's been the second line or the third line or even the first line. You have seen that no matter what, these two teams are trying to answer the bell, and whether it be the small guys like Topol and Altier, whether it be the bigger guys like Kubicek and Rogers or Kubicek and Tatina, they are answering the bell physically and answering the bell in terms of style.
Almost looks like Creighton might have been caught off guard by this aggressive start for Nebraska, and ever since period 2 hit, they have been on the game. But here is Kubicek sending one across. Final minute of action in period 2 between Nebraska and Creighton. We'll see if the Blue Jays can slide one onto the scoreboard to finish out period 2. Puck goes out of play. So we got a quick change for both teams. Probably the final change of period 2.
Yeah, definitely. And with this last 31.8 for either side with the neutral zone faceoff, you're going to look to get one last quick opportunity on that. See if you can catch one of these goaltenders who have been so good, both of them this period, by surprise.
Bonthius, Adamski, Heiberg all checking in for Nebraska as they try to keep it out of their zone for the final 20 seconds of action in period 2. Bonthius behind Alex Koff in net. Looking for somebody. As some contact along the blue line. Huskers chasing after the puck. Here comes Heiberg trying to center it for McGinnis. Puck around the crease. One more opportunity for Nebraska to finish period 2 as the buzzer sounds on a very active but low-scoring period 2 of play here at the John Breslow Ice Center.
Well, a very low-scoring period indeed, Jake, and after the offensive shootout that we thought we were going to have for that first period, both of these goaltenders locked it down and were able to organize their defenses and get them in shape and in system, keeping them in rotation and not allowing any free pucks or free one-on-one opportunities. You saw Creighton towards the end use their speed. They were able to get on breakaways. They got some good looks around the net, but nothing really happening there. And then Nebraska looking ever more physical on the boards, trying to impose their will. They're getting second chances, poke checks in and around the goal, but nothing's really falling right now. A great period that we were treated to right there, Jake.
wasn't as drastic of a disparity between the offense and defense as we saw in period 1, but it seemed like Alex Koff almost had the flip side of what we saw in period 1 for Ryan Lee. He faced a lot more shots in period 2. Very impressive that he still got the clean sheet after 2.
Yeah, very impressive. And Kopp made a couple of incredible saves because without the length at 6'5", he wouldn't have been able to make a lot of those saves. I was really impressed with his ability to handle bad shots. That was the thing. He handled awkward shots well. He was flowing to his right, had to make a stab with his left. He had to make a kick save. He had to stab the stick really quick to get another one out. So really impressed with his ability right there. We're going to see if that translates over to the third period.
It's been a fantastic response to last weekend for Alex Koff as he's in net tonight. We'll see if he can keep the clean sheet coming up in period 3 on the Husker Hockey YouTube channel. Welcome back inside the John Breslow Ice Center. Jake Schrantz and Justice Rohde back with you tonight. Period 3 action coming up in just a minute. The Huskers lead 3-0 as we head into the final period. Justice, it's been a dominant performance for Nebraska so far.
It really has, and it's been in 3 different phases, Jake. They've done it on the boards with their physicality. They've done it with their scheme, getting organized defensively, and with the goaltending of Alex Koff. And finally, they've done it by getting tremendous looks in front of the zone with their tremendous pressure in the offensive zone. It feels like it's 80-20 right now. Now, Creighton evened it out in that last period a little bit, but it felt like it was 80-20 with the amount of pressure and the stifling, suffocating defense they were playing in their offensive zone, just not letting Creighton find any available outlet passes.
The way that they've kept Zach Kubicek off the board, he averages almost 2 points per game so far this season. 17 goals in 14 appearances. It's been amazing the way that Nebraska has been able to keep this top offensive talent off the board, especially when you think back to last week with the way they struggled against Tyler Nelson.
Yeah, and I think the big change has been, and credit to Reed Fuller and the coaching staff for this Nebraska hockey club, they've decided, listen, when you see Schugel, when you see Kubicek, when you see Altier, let's lay a body on them. Every time they go to the boards, we're hitting them, we're wearing them out, and we're not going to let them get a full head of steam going downhill, and that has been to their benefit because they have limited Creighton's offensive attack. The opportunities have been limited, and that's why Nebraska finds itself at a 3-goal lead heading into period number 3, Jake.
Well, both teams are back out onto the ice. We'll see if Nebraska can maintain this momentum from the first 2 periods, or if Creighton's got a little bit of a comeback up their sleeve. Both top lines return to the ice as Altier's in there for the faceoff for the Blue Jays, and Creighton ends up winning it. Here is Kubicek working with Altier against McCray at that center line. Kubicek able to send it far off the boards for the Nebraska side. We'll see if the Huskers can control and get back into the offensive ways of the first period.
That's going to be really tough. You can see this slick ice still a little bit wet, Jake, and both teams going to have to try to adjust to the slosh still on.
We saw that last series where players were slipping and sliding, falling at the early portions of some of the periods after the Zamboni flies through, but after that icing call around 30 seconds into period 3, we head back into the Huskers zone for a faceoff.
This is going to be big right here. Can Creighton set the tone early in period number 3, try to get the early goal and make this a little bit more manageable going down the stretch of the 3rd period, or will the Huskers stand and further prove why they've been the dominant team so far?
Altier and Maralda ready to take this faceoff as Weigel, the defender, checks in early in this period. He has provided some great defense in the Husker zone. He's even been pretty aggressive on the offensive side as well, taking the puck himself quite a few times, as here he comes taking control of the puck, sends it to the opposite side. Nebraska working across center ice. Here comes Maralda sending it the other way. Nebraska trying to take advantage of this opportunity. Here comes Kubicek picking off the pass. Kubicek 2-on-1. He's got Altier behind him to work with. Ends up just giving it up to the corner.
Yeah, and it's tough because you could see he wanted to do something, but he saw McCray take a tumble on that slick ice over there when he was trying to make a play on the puck. And so a little bit more hesitant trying to wait this one out, as now Creighton's going to reset and try to get a better attack going.
Slow start to period 3. We'll see if the Blue Jays can figure something out here. Here comes Altier in the neutral zone. Got poked away for a moment by Pontius as Rogers has to chase it down. Takes a shot up high. That'll be a penalty on Sean Rogers, as Creighton will be taking the power play in a moment. You see Altier shaken up just a little bit up high on that check by Sean Rogers.
Well, and again, it's by any means necessary that these Nebraska defenders are trying to lay any sort of punishment they can. That time, doing it outside the lines of play, and so Creighton going to have the penalty, as Rogers going to have to go to the sin bin and think about this one.
And here's an early opportunity for Creighton to get one on the scoreboard with a 5-on-4 advantage. Chance to maybe work themselves back into this game. You see Altier, you see Kubicek out there as well. Bishop Schugel, one of the better offensive options for Creighton. Maybe their best opportunity so far tonight, as there's a great job clearing the puck out early in this penalty kill for Nebraska.
Yeah, really good job, and this is going to take Creighton a little bit extra to develop right here, as you can see more counter pressure again as they try to get ahead on the forecheck.
Here in Straw trying to slap at one. keeping it in the neutral zone, doing anything he can to keep the puck away from Alex Koff in net tonight. Koff still a clean sheet through 2 periods and counting.
And how great of a confidence boost would it be to Alex Koff? Some early season struggles, but to pitch a shutout tonight against a hated rival, that has to be a huge one for the confidence.
Played only around 8 minutes or so as here comes an opportunity. It looks like Creighton Davis taking it the other way. Shorthanded, fires one, scores! Fourth goal of the season for Creighton Davis, and the Huskers take a 4-0 lead.
Well, I tell you what, how big of a deflator is that for Creighton? You have every bit of momentum. The power play is in your hands, and Davis goes 1-on-3 and says, why not? Puts one in the top right corner past Lee, who had a sensational second period, and completely kills the power play with a shorthanded goal.
What a start to period 3 for Nebraska. Creighton trying to respond to all of this momentum. You hear the crowd here at the John Breslow Ice Center going crazy after that fantastic goal from Creighton Davis. 4 different Huskers scoring tonight. As there's a fight for it on the near side boards, McGinnis getting in the action. Nebraska taking control once again into the neutral zone. Heiberg chases it down. The freshman going all the way inside, fires one, and he scores! Fifth different Husker with a goal tonight, and Nebraska leads 5-0 here in period 3.
And Heiberg, his 8th goal of the season, another shorthanded goal. 2 huge moments right here as the wheels have completely fallen off for Ryan Lee. All of that positive momentum that Creighton's defense have built up. They had the power play advantage. They've given up 2 shorthand goals. A nightmare start for these Blue Jays on the road.
The Nebraska offense has waken up quite a bit here this weekend. They had 6 goals all last series against Kansas a weekend ago. They've got 5 already in game 1 tonight.
And look at this, another long stride across the rink, and now Creighton's not going to have time to get back into the offensive zone before Nebraska gets back to full strength. Rogers emerges from the bin.
Koff covers up, stops the clock at 16:09, but you got to think the way that this Nebraska offense has played has got to boost the confidence even more of Alex Koff in net to work with.
Oh, it has to. Now you have a 5-goal cushion. You can play as freely as you want. You can take some chances, and for Creighton, you've got to find some answers. Got to put some offensive pressure on. That is really deflating and disheartening to have 2 shorthanded goals scored on you in a matter of seconds.
Huskers with all the momentum right now as they work with the puck in the neutral zone. Here comes Cook trying to get something going for Creighton. Kubicek on the near side. Here comes Weber. He's got Tatina to work with. Weber on the right side. Glides over. Puts a puck in front of the net. Oh my goodness. Huskers almost get number 6 through the back of the net tonight. But the Creighton Blue Jays escape and just chuck the puck down near Koff to get a change out there.
And they have to, because you saw a beautiful opportunity right there for Topol after Bonthius triggered that with a beautiful poke check. He was just able to reach in using his length to get past the smaller attacker and then triggers the immediate break, and Weber and Topol were there to combine. But Creighton is in a scramble right now trying to find some sort of offense down 5.
A lot of contact behind the net. It will be a penalty coming up as the Huskers will take possession and the whistle is blown. It looks like once again the Huskers will be shorthanded, but with the way they've been playing so far in period 3, hasn't been quite a problem.
Yeah, Caveno went low with the stick, trying to go for the little up and under right there. Trying to give him the old conventional theater hook, and that one's not allowed in the sport of hockey. So the Huskers going to be shortened again. You never know. They were able to pull 2 rabbits out of the hat with a couple of shorthanded goals. Now can Creighton take advantage on the power play?
Kubicek behind the net, still scoreless tonight. The top goal scorer, one of the top in the MACHA Silver Central. Dishes down low. Altier's waiting on a pass. Puck is in front of the net. Alex Koff, he's got his eyes on it like a hawk. Back up top, Creighton pass is tipped. Good defense by Nebraska. Huge hit Kane Bierenstraw as the Huskers clear the puck. And a great defensive set by the Huskers right there.
And what did we talk about, Jake? They were going to go hunting for Altier Schugel in the offensive zone, and they were also going to go after Zach Kubicek. And right there, it's Bierenstraw laying the lumber right there on Bishop Schugel, not allowing any sort of offensive momentum.
Schugel back on his feet now, working in the Husker zone against Weigel. Puck goes in front of the net, and Koff is able to calmly cover it up with his glove, maintaining the clean sheet.
And again, Schugel takes another shot trying for the wraparound right there, but they're going after him, Kubicek, and Altier pretty hard, and you can see it's taking a beating. He's looked really hesitant going into the boards.
Schugel wins the face-off against Bobby Heiberg. Now up top, puck goes flying as Mee couldn't put it through. Altier on the far side looking for an option as the Huskers trying to get the puck out of there once again. 50 seconds and counting on this penalty kill for Big Red. McGinnis deep in the Creighton zone, just putting pressure on as the Huskers not afraid to attack shorthanded. Here comes Kubicek into the Husker zone. 1-on-3, waiting for a teammate to give it to. He's got Altier in front of him, dishes back outside Dale Mee. Over to the right. Creighton looking for something. Altier couldn't tip it through. Altier glides past the Husker side. Gives it back up to Dale Mee, who slings it around behind the net as Kubicek looking for an angle around Koff, but the Huskers are crowded in front of the crease. Kubicek getting poked at. Still behind the net with Schugel. Creighton with the final few seconds of this penalty kill, and look at Alex Koff.
Oh, just making a statement tonight, Jake. He is showing out, the graduate senior is, and he has been playing about as well as you can in the net tonight. And right there, a great defensive stand, shorthanded again by the Huskers. 6 seconds to kill this penalty. It almost looks like certainly they will unless Creighton can rattle one off quickly.
Huskers getting it deep out of their own zone almost. Hard shot goes off the stick of Alex Koff. Good awareness from deep outside for Alex Koff there. Just about 13 minutes left in period 3. Huskers working with the 5-goal lead. Up top is the shot there from McCown, not able to get it through, and Koff once again covers up. And it'll stay in the Husker zone, but Alex Koff has been on the money tonight.
He has looked so good tonight, so on point. This is more of the Alex Koff we saw from last season when he had a superb year, and he was able to catch that one from Sam Cook, and now the Huskers back at full strength can play freely like they want to.
Weber wins the face-off for Nebraska, but the puck stays in the Husker zone. Datina looking to get out of there. Spins and works to the neutral zone. Evan Datina across that Nebraska end, takes the middle lane, dekes around defenders, gets inside, sends a shot wide to the right. Great opportunity for Datina as here comes Creighton the other way. Cook into traffic, and we have a whistle and a stoppage as that shot goes off the net.
And again, a great defensive stand. Really good opportunity. Datina showing a little bit of the sauce he's had all year. Just a little shimmy, yeah, in and out. And he's able to get one, fires one to the far side of the post, just a little bit too wide at the time of asking, but a really good opportunity and showing a lot of the skill that Evan Datina has displayed all year.
Huskers coming away with it. It looks like it's Adamski taking it all the way across for Nebraska as Ryan Lee covers up in net.
And a dangerous opportunity right there because you could see that McGinnis was going hunting right there, heat-seeking his way in, trying to find any sort of loose puck. And that's been a theme of the night for Nebraska, hunting for loose pucks, hunting for any sort of opportunity, any sort of morsel that Creighton will give them, and they've been pouncing on everything.
Leslie to the left to Biankowski. Puts one near the net as it slides around to the other side. Heiberg working against the Creighton defender there. Now here come the Blue Jays the other way across the center line. Nebraska pokes it free, taking it the other way. McGinnis couldn't handle the pass, puts one on the net as he threw it at Lee, but it's a good save in the crease there for Ryan Lee. Nebraska keeping it in the Creighton zone, now behind the net, McGinnis chasing after it. McGinnis gets bodied on the boards. There's some more contact for this Husker team to handle. A lot of congestion on this near side for Adamski, working to figure out a way to get the puck free as Heiberg puts it in front of the net. Oh my goodness, McGinnis had an opportunity right in front, maybe 3 feet in front of Ryan Lee. Another shot goes tipped and out of play. McGinnis couldn't quite find the angle to tip it through to the back of the net.
And boy, Leslie, I mean, if McGinnis not there, Leslie might have had a straight shot on the slap shot, put it on a really good line. McGinnis tried to tap it with the back, and it just didn't work out the way they wanted it to. But again, the pressure has been so suffocating from this Nebraska attack in the offensive zone. That's been a big part of their success because Creighton, this free-flowing offense, this high-powered attack, hasn't had as many opportunities as they would have liked, and that's been a big key why Nebraska's up 5 goals late in the third period.
A lot of new faces out there for Nebraska. Bonthius and Clover among the new ones, as there's a shot on net from pretty deep outside for Creighton. That opportunity looks pretty good as the puck goes flying into the Husker bench. 11 minutes on the dot officially on the game clock. Nebraska still working with the 5-0 lead after 2 get on the scoreboard here in period 3. Creighton trying to take this face off into the Husker zone. They do. Mee is able to put it on the net, but Alex Koff once again is there. A little bit of space to work with, as here is Chris Poe skating backwards behind his own blue line. Huskers putting some pressure on as Caden Davis, who scored here in this period, continues to cause some havoc for the Creighton Blue Jays. Weagle, the newcomer, dishes over to Bonthius, who just gives it up to the Creighton zone.
Creighton's going to have to find some sort of momentum, some sort of opportunity. Someone's got to make a run to the middle, make a run to the crease.
Reiser lost a glove on that hit as he has to go chase it down and pop it back on. But wow, what a pop that was on Reiser. As here is another offensive opportunity. Davis looking for number 2, fires it wide.
And again, he has been so dangerous and effective in attack. Caden Davis taking every liberty that he could to take some really good shots on line. He had the one that was a ringer in the top right corner, and right there just tries to go hunting bottom right. Knew Lee was going to be able to slide over in time, just a little bit too wide at the time of asking, but some really good offensive play in the attack and the transition for Nebraska.
Maralda off the faceoff, around the net. Puck is in front. Lee has to sprawl out and cover it up. Just in time, the Huskers were like hounds around the crease looking for that puck to put it through the back of the net.
Yeah, they have been hounding, hunting, and hoping for any sort of morsel or opportunity that Creighton's going to leave out on the plate. Because like a pack of hungry dogs, they are swarming, just waiting to pounce.
Lee keeps freezing the puck. It's keeping the puck in this Creighton zone. You got to wonder at some point, do you let one go off your pad and let your defense try to get it out of there? Pate handling up top, whiffs on that shot. So here goes Rogers, has to chase it down in front of Alex Koff.
Really good play right there by Kubicek, just able to poke that one away from Pate, allow Creighton a little bit of breathing room in the defensive zone.
Around the Creighton net, Maralda chasing it down. McCown gets hit up high, falls on the ice as Dardanis has to chase after the puck behind the net once again. Kubicek's waiting on the pass on the near side boards, tried to find Altier, got past him. Now up into the Husker zone. Creighton still looking for their first goal of the game with around 9 minutes or so left in this third period. Koff will cover it up once again and allow for a couple of substitutions onto the ice for both teams.
And just a really smart play, veteran play right there by Alex Koff, because he knew that Reed Fuller wanted a line change right there, get some fresh bodies on the ice, and he knew that he was at a disadvantage numbers-wise, so why not just kill it? Allow yourself some time to reset in the defensive zone, get the first line back in there.
Here's Leslie standing behind Alex Koff in net. Now over to the left side. Datina chasing after it. Back into the Husker zone. Creighton trying to find anything offensively. They only scored 2 in their last game against Omaha. Here's a chance, though, for the Blue Jays. Great defense by Leslie. Just absolutely took that puck away from Dale Mee. But here he comes, taking it back and fires a shot over the head of Alex Koff.
And again, like you said, a beautiful poke check by Leslie. Just went in and out with the stick. and just did a really beautiful job as again he used his body as a shield to keep that one away, and another potential breakaway from Creighton.
That was maybe the defensive highlight of the night for Matt Leslie after he's already scored earlier tonight. Chance in front. Great job in front of the net by this Husker defense. There was an opportunity for Creighton. Now here comes Tatina. Can he get on the scoreboard? Takes it across the center, and Ryan Lee is able to cover it up.
Yeah, Tatina went highlight hunting right there, went drag between the legs, then tried to just backhand it quickly. Unable to get that one on net. Lee able to smother that one up, but again, it was Leslie and then Biankowski in the middle with a beautiful poke check again. Some really great stick work by these Husker defenders, giving themselves some breathing room and a couple of great transition opportunities here in period number 3, Jake.
Face off in the Creighton zone. Heiberg trying to win it. It's still in front of the net. Opportunity. What a save by Lee as he sticks his skate out just in time. Huskers still maintaining the possession, but wow, what a save by Ryan Lee. Just sprawling out and sticking his left big toe to keep that puck out of the net.
Yeah, you want to talk about defensive highlight of the night. I know he's given up 5, but he just uses the edge of the skate, every little inch of his body as he could to just deny that one by sheer willpower. What a display of goaltending by Ryan Lee.
Up top for Nebraska, sneaking through the defense as Weigel cannot put that one in the net. Handles outside. A lot of traffic near the crease for Creighton, trying to find an option in front as here comes Reiser. Gives it up. Creighton advancing into the Husker zone. Takes it down the middle and can't do anything with it as Nebraska chasing after it once again. Adamski back out there on the ice, couldn't take that pass away. Blue Jays rifle one in front, and Alex Goff just says, "Thank you very much, I will take that," and he stops the clock with 7:17 left in this hockey game.
And let's give credit to that defensive stand again to the new guy, the brand new introduction to this lineup, Dalton Weigel. He has been looking really good, and right there just stays patient. Then once he sees the little flash of the puck, just pokes the stick at it. 3 great poke checks by 3 good Husker defenders so far.
Pass out in front. Bierenstraw looking for it. Davis, the speedy Caden Davis chasing after the puck behind the net. He's already scored earlier this period, looking for number 2 if he could have had one there. Husker is able to poke it away. It's Christian Clover. Rifles one over the top of the head of Ryan Lee. Would have been his second goal of the night as well. Bonthius bats it down as here's Pate trying to maintain control for the Huskers. Clover couldn't handle the pass as it gets by him as Chris Bowe takes control. Puck in front of the net, backhand right into the gloves of Ryan Lee in net.
Yeah, Bierenstraw found one right in front of the net, said, "Look what I found," tried for a little backhand, but Lee, ever so present, just stays right there. After giving up the 2 shorthanded goals, he has put on a remarkable display of goaltending to deny a couple of great opportunities for these Huskers.
Altier steps in for the faceoff for Creighton. Huskers win it. Puck goes in front, but luckily Christian Pino was there for Ryan Lee. Here's Kubicek working down the middle. Pass over to the right side. Good opportunity for Creighton. Cook couldn't finish that shot, but that had a lot of velocity on it. Kubicek still around the crease, trying to be active for Creighton once more. Maralda chasing it down against Pino as it will hit the back, and an icing is called.
Yeah, it was a good icing right there. As you could see, another great save by Alex Kopp. Just able to get the blocker out in front, just deflect it momentarily, allowing his defense time to recover. And he has been on his mark tonight. With 6:11 left, he's certainly thinking that he wants to keep that goose egg on the board, try to pad the stats, and cap off a beautiful performance that he's had so far.
Pino put one on. Alex Koff over 91% save percentage so far this year as Quevedo chases after the puck into the Creighton zone. Behind the net, falls down. As Kubicek tries to calm it down and bring it up front for Creighton. Puck gets near the Husker zone and into the blue line, but Nebraska takes over once again. Kubicek handles the puck, gets it into the neutral zone. Here comes Dale Mee. Mee along the near side boards, now working behind the net. Puck still alive, looking for someone to take control. Nebraska coming the other way into the neutral zone. Just put one down toward the back as a couple of substitutions come in for Nebraska.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst idea by Dylan McCray just to get the line changed off. Just say, why not put one on net, maybe see if one squeaks through from long range.
Huskers have had some success from long range so far tonight. Kubicek has a space in front of the net, couldn't do much with it as his pass was great. Me rifles one to the right. And it looks like there's some tired legs out there at this point, deep into the third period. Weber trying to maintain control as Kubicek doesn't look tired right now as he's along the right side. That pass went to nobody. As here is Creighton still working in front. Husker defense starting to fall apart a little bit, but they get it into the neutral zone. As Creighton clears it out, and they will come in with a couple of substitutions as well.
Yeah, Kubicek needed one right there, so just rifles one in the corner just to get the line change completed successfully.
Topol takes a shot along the glass. Me gives it up to Hingsberger. One-on-one chase over to the back as another icing is called. And we will head into the Creighton zone. No, it looks like, oh yeah, they will be. Heading into the Creighton zone, another opportunity for Nebraska to potentially add one more onto tonight's total. They scored 6 goals all last weekend. They've got 5 here in game 1 of the series against the Blue Jays tonight. And still some time to work with as just over 4 minutes left in this one. Jacobsma gives it up. McGinnis dishes all the way down and gliding behind the back of the net. As Heiberg let that puck get by him. He's got some space in front. Open net. Cannot finish it. McGinnis back out to Jacobsma. He just rifles one toward the net. Lee was able to block it. Good offense by Nebraska. McGinnis keeping it in the zone. A lot of contact and traffic along the blue line. Still poking at it, fighting for the puck. Adamski's out there for the Huskers as well. He's played some valued minutes tonight. Creighton able to come away with it. Here comes Pino along the Nebraska end, now into the Husker zone. Pino goes around the net. He's got a 1-on-4 right now. He has to wait for some help as the Huskers are able to take it away. Heiberg across the blue line, puts one on the net, goes high as Heiberg takes a shot. Jacobsma across center ice. Gets hit in the boards as well. It looks like some Creighton frustration at this point.
Yeah, Jacobsma with a little bit of retaliation right there, but like you said, valued minutes from these second and third lines from Nebraska. They have been getting really good shifts out of these young men, and that's been a big reason why they've been able to keep this lead at a 5-0 lead and even extended at points with Caden Davis coming in with as another big shot laid in, that time by Weigel.
Reiser took that brunt of the shot as well. He has gotten hit quite a few times tonight as there's about 2:30 left in this game. Huskers have looked absolutely dominant on their home ice, looking for their first win since November 12th of 2023. Davis dishes outside. Puck is picked up as here come the Blue Jays. Huskers chasing after it, just trying at this point to maintain the goose egg on the board for the Blue Jays. Creighton offense looking to get one here into the neutral zone. Over to Middleton, who gets it behind the net. Rogers chasing after it against Schugel. Huskers just trying to play keep away at this point. Clover into the neutral zone. Across the blue line, gives it up as the Husker substitutions will step out onto the ice.
Yeah, needed a little line change right there. Smart play by Christian Clover. Just elevate the puck, get it into your offensive zone, Creighton's defensive zone. Allow the line shift to happen. See if you can go get another one to cap off the night's tally.
McCray back out onto the ice. He puts one near the net as the Jays have to chase after it. Here's Schwab. Got it taken away by Bonthius for a moment. Bonthius chasing after it. Creighton still on the defensive at this point. Yeah, we have an icing called once again as we will head over to the Blue Jays side.
Yeah, and again, as another line shift's going to happen, they're going to go back with the first line, try to cap off tonight's tally with a little bit of a cherry on top. But again, this has been a dominant performance, more of the performance that you think you would see out of this Nebraska club. Physical, aggressive, fast-paced hockey. They have executed the game plan tonight to perfection, and Alex Koff has held down the anchor in the back, and that's been a big reason why they hold this 5-0 advantage, trying to keep the status quo alive.
Less than 60 seconds to go. Here comes Evan Datina. Gives it up to Weber, back to Datina. He works around the net. Datina trying to find somebody in front as Creighton trying to take it away here. Middleton gives it back to Vo. Vo handles the puck in front of the net. A lot of pressure put on by Nate Weber, top points holder for Nebraska so far this season. Less than 30 seconds now. Big shot by Biankowski. Bonthius behind the net, trying to fight for the puck. Huskers with a chance to get their first win in a couple of months. Here comes Datina with a one-on-one against Chris Vo. Datina in front of the net, fires one. Good save by Ryan Lee.
Yeah, like you said, a really quality save because Datina put the heater on that one as they're going to cap off a nice victory, but a nice save by Ryan Lee to kind of end his night. But Jake, dominant performance on both sides.
The losing streak is no longer for the Nebraska Cornhuskers as they finish off a shutout performance put up in net by Alex Koff. What a performance in front of these home fans in Lincoln, Nebraska. And a 5-0 win at this point in the season. A team that only had 5 wins coming into tonight. It's just important looking ahead at next season, you would think.
Very, very important. Getting some of these young guys some experience, and you got to see a little bit of what can happen when you play to your full potential. I thought tonight the big key, Brandon Dalton looks so good in that first impression that you saw out there against Creighton. Was able to hold the back line together, string it together. Alex Koff gets another shutout to add to his stellar resume and his career here at the University of Nebraska Hockey Club. What a night he had. What a night the offense had. How about 2 shorthand goals in the third period to extend your advantage from a 3-0 to a 5-0? And Christian Clover able to get the cherry on top of his night with his parents in the house, able to help himself out, help his team out. How about a 5-0 win against the Creighton team that looked pretty solid coming in, but now some answers and some questions to really answer going into tomorrow.
5 different Huskers scored tonight out on the ice. We saw 3 come in the first period, 2 in the third. But we've got another game coming up, game 2 of the series between Nebraska and Creighton tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 right here on the Husker Hockey YouTube channel. We'll see if Nebraska can make it 2-0. But for everyone involved tonight, for Justice Rhodey, this is Jake Schroth signing off from Lincoln.